Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Johnson again. You might be wondering who my friends are. Today I have Ellie the elephant and I have a Spot over here, the dog. And I have these little creatures, animals out with me today because I'm going to be sharing with you a very special story about an elephant and a dog. Strange combination, I know, but you're going to love this true story that I'm going to share with you. Before we get started on our story today about the elephant and the dog, I wanted us to get a little warm up with our phonics. So today, if you have a pen, pencil, paper, dry erase board, or marker, go find that and we'll get started practicing some of our phonics skills. All right. Our first thing we're going to practice today, boys and girls, is a word that we've talked a lot about before, or words like this that we've talked a lot about before. That's a short vowel word. And when a word has a short vowel, we have to remember the rule of what to do to the end of it. And this word is going to be in our story today, which I don't even think I share with you, is going to be Tarra and Bella. So our first word we're going to spell today is petted. Now, what we have to ask ourselves, we have to think and say, okay, what was the root word? Petted. The root word was pet. So first I'm going to tap out pet. And then we have to stop and think, what are we going to do to the ending of that word? Petted. Ooh, Amy petted the dog. Well, I heard ed, so maybe I should just add an ed. Oh, but we've got to remember that rule. When it's a short vowel word with one consonant behind it, what do? Hopefully you remember to double the T before adding the ed. And now we have petted. All right, give yourself a pat on the back if you remember that rule. Let's try our next one. Our next word today is going to have it's going to be a word where you have another chance to think about the root word. The word is freely. Now stop and think as I'm thinking about my word, what was the root word? Freely. Oh, the root word was free. So let's tap that out. Free. How am I going to spell that E sound on the end? Why don't you try that as Miss Johnson spells it too? E. Now I know there's two ways to spell that long E sound. It can be spelled with an EE or an EA. When we hear that E at the end of the word, hopefully you remember to use EE. So there's free, and now we have to put our ending on. Lee. Freely. You were freely given the right to choose what ice cream you wanted to eat. Okay? So, Lee. It sounds like it should be L with an E, but we know when we hear that E sound at the end of that, of a word, many times that is spelled with a Y. So hopefully you wrote freely. All right, now we're going to erase that one. We're going to try one other one. This word is shining. Now let's stop and think about what the root word would be for shining. You should have said shine. Let's tap that out. Sh-I-N. Ooh, I heard that I say its name. So let's see how we would spell shine. Sh-I-N. Ooh, and I'm going to add that sneaky E to make that I say its name. But Miss Johnson added an ending to that word. The ending was ing. So, with your thinking cap, are you just going to put ing on the end? No. We drop that sneaky E and we add the ing. Shining. Okay? All right, let's erase that one. Last but not least today, our last word we're going to try is retire. Retire. For example, after you have done a job for many, many years, sometimes you need to retire from it. That means to quit or stop the job. So I heard a prefix in that word. re, and then I heard tire. We've talked about before the prefix for re. It means to do something again. So re, and now we spell our root word tire. T-I-R. Now I know says ER, so maybe I should try that, retire. But hopefully if you look at that, you would realize that doesn't quite look right. The word tire has a long I with that bossy R and a sneaky E. Tire, retire. And in our story today, we're going to find out about our elephant, Tarra, and she retires from being a type of elephant in a circus. So that's where that word comes from. All right, let's get started with our story, boys and girls. I'm so excited. I have my friend sitting here beside of us, and we're going to pretend like that this is Tarra, and this can be Bella. All right, Tarra and Bella. Now, first of all, I want you to look closely at the cover of our book today. Do these look like drawings or photographs? If you answered photographs, ding ding, you are correct. So we already know that this book is going to be a real story, a true story. It sounds like it might give us some information about this elephant and this dog. Now I want you to stop and think about what you know about elephants. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, elephants are really large animals. They usually live in the savannas of Africa. They have big ears and trunks that they drink water with and try to communicate with and pick up their food with. Dogs, on the other hand, they can be pets. Dogs can be in the wild. They're much, much smaller than elephants, and they definitely don't usually live close to each other. So before I've read the story, I'm already thinking about what I know from this picture about elephants and dogs. But I'm also trying to figure out, wonder why they have a dog and an elephant together in the story, and it's called Tarra and Bella. Now, if we read the fine print at the bottom of the title, it says, "The Elephant and Dog Who Became Best Friends." That might be a clue why they're on the picture together. Okay, and just an FYI for your information, you might just remember that that little symbol is sometimes used in place of our word and, A-N-D. A lot of times when people type letters, or sometimes even in books, they'll use that symbol. Now, this story and the photographs are by a lady named Carol Buckley. She is actually the co-founder of an elephant sanctuary right here in our state of Tennessee, which is really cool, in a city called Hohenwald. And at the end of the story, you're going to find out a little bit more about the elephant sanctuary. Here's our title page, Tarra and Bella. Text and photographs by Carol Buckley. Meet Tarra the elephant and Bella the dog who won her heart. These inseparable friends live freely together, side by side, at the elephant sanctuary in Tennessee. Whatever attracted an elephant and a dog to each other remains a mystery, but one thing is for sure, Tarra and Bella are truly forever friends. How they met and how an injury threatened to end their friendship is a touching true life story that shows us just how intelligent and loving these animals are. Before Tarra met Bella, she was an entertainer. Tarra performed in the circus as the world's only roller skating elephant. She was in the movie Annie, and she appeared on television shows like Little House on the Prairie. But after 20 years of entertaining, Tarra deserved a different life. She needed elephant friends and lots of room to roam. Now think about what the word roam means. She needs room to roam. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, when I hear somebody say they're going to roam around, that means move. So she needed a space to move. So in the spring of 1995, Tarra became the first resident of the Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee. The sanctuary is a special place with lots of room where elephants can live freely in nature. It's not like a zoo, but like the wild. So now we know what an elephant sanctuary is. It just told us. It's a place where elephants can roam freely like they're in the wild. It's not like a zoo. And there we see some of the elephants that are there. When the new elephants arrived at the sanctuary, Tarra would be there to greet them. She would lead them through the barns and the pastures and show them her favorite creeks and forest trails. She even taught the elephants how to pick blackberries. And ask yourself, how would an elephant pick a blackberry? Hopefully you noticed the picture here and said with their trunk. Soon after they arrived, every elephant found a special friend. Another elephant that helped her feel safe. Winky and Sissy quickly became best friends, as did Dolly and Misty. But Tarra, she never found a best friend. So even though she was the first elephant at the sanctuary and she's shown the other elephants that have arrived around, she still hasn't found that special friend. Then, one morning, Tarra awoke to find a dog named Bella sleeping next to her. When Tarra got up and began to walk through the pasture, Bella rose calmly. She stretched her legs and she quickly followed. Delighted, Tarra reached her trunk towards Bella, chirped, then began to graze, while Bella played close by in the tall grass. So before I read the next paragraph, it said that Tarra chirped. Sometimes the sounds that elephants make are called a chirp. And most of the time you would think that a dog would scare an elephant or an elephant would scare a dog. But so far we've noticed that they've actually become friends quickly. This was a very unusual sight. Most of the elephants didn't trust the stray dogs that lived at the sanctuary to come near them. But feisty little Bella seemed to need a friend to watch over, and Tarra was happy to let her. So we just found out that most elephants didn't like the stray dogs that roamed the sanctuary. But Tarra and Bella quickly realized they actually liked each other and they weren't scared of one another. This marked the beginning of an amazing relationship. Tarra and Bella began to do everything together, sharing a swim in the pond and running around playing together. When Tarra's meals were delivered to her deep in the woods by a caregiver, Bella's meals were too. On hot summer days when the water wagon drove miles in search of the thirsty elephants, Bella barked to have a bowl filled up for her. So when we see these photographs, we realize who's bringing the water in the wagon to the elephants and the dog. In the text, it told us it was the caregiver. So at the elephant sanctuary, there are workers, and even though they're letting the elephants roam and be in the wild, they still have to make sure the elephants have all the things they need, just in case they're not finding the ponds to get the water from on their own or the creeks. So they make sure, especially in the summer, they have plenty of water, because elephants drink a lot. They understood each other's language as well. When Bella jumped around and barked excitedly, Tarra would gently brush her trunk across Bella's side to make sure her best friend was okay. Then Tarra would chatter and trumpet in response. There she is. Even the other elephants began to accept Bella since Tarra wouldn't go anywhere without her. If the elephants wanted to be friends with Tarra, they would have to be friends with Bella too. I love the way this photograph shows us how much smaller Bella was than all the elephants. It's pretty amazing that she was friends with the elephants. But one day, when the caregivers went to feed Tarra, Bella was nowhere in sight. Everyone was worried. Where could she be? For a long time, Tarra remained standing in the same spot, so the caregivers thought Bella must be close by. But still, they couldn't see or hear her. After a big search around the area, they finally found Bella the dog lying in a shallow ditch, almost completely hidden by the tall grass. She was clearly hurt and could not walk. But Tarra never left Bella's side the whole time they were waiting for help. Now I want us to stop and think how smart this elephant was. She knew that those caregivers would be coming around to give them water and check on them like they did every day. And day after day, she kept standing in that spot and she wouldn't move. So the caregivers knew she was trying to tell them that Bella was close by, and they kept searching the area until finally, after a couple of days, they did find Bella close by. And she's very hurt. Let's see what happens. As a caregiver drove away with Bella, Tarra did not try to stop her. She stood perfectly still and watched her friend disappear over the hill. Think about where they're probably taking Bella on the four-wheeler. I'm sure they have facilities there at the sanctuary for the animals that get hurt or have accidents. Bella was rushed to the animal hospital, where the vet said she had a spinal cord injury. No one knew if Bella would ever walk again, but they took Bella home and made her comfortable in the heated office above the elephant barn while they tried to nurse her back to health. Through a large window, Bella watched longingly as the elephants played outside. So we all have a spine as well, and we know that's the bones that run through the middle of our back. And dogs have spines. And if you ever injure your spine, then you're unable to walk, and that's what's happened to Bella the dog. She can see the elephants through the windows, but she can't move. Now, we haven't been told if she sees Tarra yet or not, so let's find out. Meanwhile, for 2 full days, Tarra remained standing at that exact spot where Bella had been found. She was waiting for Bella to return. When Bella didn't come back, Tarra left in search of her friend. Incredibly, Tarra walked straight to the elephant barn where Bella was recovering, even though she couldn't have seen that Bella was there. So once again, she was able to go straight to where Bella was without anyone leading her there. Pretty amazing. Through the window, Bella saw Tarra and began to whine. She wiggled and squirmed, and she was trying to get up and run to her friend. But remember, she can't because her spine is injured. She even began barking excitedly like when she and Tarra played together. Then Tarra started chattering back from outside. So Tarra could hear her through the windows, and she started making her elephant noises back to Bella. It was clear that Tarra and Bella needed to see each other, so Bella was carried downstairs to Tarra. The two friends were overjoyed to be reunited. Bella stared up at Tarra with her big brown eyes, and Tarra gently petted Bella with the tip of her trunk. It's so amazing to know that Tarra knew she had to be gentle, but she wanted to love on Bella, and that was the way she showed her affection and love, was by just barely tapping on her with the tip of her elephant trunk. And there again, all the workers at the sanctuary, see, they were very aware of Bella and Tarra's friendship, and they knew that it would help Bella the dog get better faster if she could be near her favorite friend. Tarra returned to the barn every day after that, chattering wildly until Bella was brought out to visit. Soon Bella began to get better. When she was able to use her back legs again, Bella was allowed to roam outside with Tarra during the day, and at dusk, she was brought back to the barn. Now think about why they would bring her back at dusk. Dusk. Is that the beginning of the day or the end of the day? End of the day. And hopefully all of you are thinking, if she's an injured dog, why would it not be safe for her to be out alone after dark? Other predators might bother her and hurt her, so the workers knew she had to come in. Even though their time together was limited until Bella fully recovered, being with Tarra was the best medicine for Bella. Today, Bella and Tarra can be found walking side by side in the woods or napping under the shade of an ancient oak tree. Bella will be snuggled up close to Tarra. When they run, Bella limps, but it does not stop them from having fun. Tarra and Bella are back together, sharing their meals, their freedom, and their big love. They are truly forever best friends. And at the end of our story, it's pretty neat because they let you know a lot more information about elephants and all the different places elephants live and how we need to protect elephants because a lot of them are being killed and we don't want those animals to become extinct and never be around again. But it also gives you information about Carol Buckley, the author of the story, and how she created this elephant sanctuary in Hole in Wall, Tennessee. And she has just a beautiful place there, it says, with meadows and forests and hills and streams so that the elephants can have a wonderful life as they get older and not be, they don't have to worry about being in a zoo or being cooped up in a little area. They can just be free and enjoy the rest of their life there in the sanctuary. And now that we are finished with our story, I want you to stop and think about Tarra and Bella and how the story ended and said they were truly forever best friends. Many of you right now are probably missing some of your friends, maybe more than one, maybe several. So my challenge to you this week is write for Miss Johnson a story about some of your friends. Maybe choose one. Maybe tell me about why they are your friend or your best friend. Tell me what you like about them, what's special about them. And I would just love for you to share those with Miss Johnson